Hello everyone, very good afternoon to all of you and thanks for joining on the day number 4 for International Bootcamp on Coding, Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Bootcamp for School Educators Level 2. Yes, of course, we are heading on the Level 2 and today is the day number 4. And I would like to welcome all the educators who have joined us till now. We would be just shortly starting in few more minutes. Till that time, let me call up my colleague Tina. Hello, Tina.
Hi, Ayush. Good evening, all my dear educators. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to this International Bootcamp program Level 2 organized by STEMpedia and ARTPARK. I'm sure that you all will feel enriched with the knowledge of artificial intelligence and robotics after the completion of this bootcamp program. So, on behalf of entire STEMpedia family, I once again welcome you to this International Bootcamp program. Now, let's empower ourselves to empower the young minds. We'll be shortly starting our session soon. By that time, you can let us know about your country on our chat.
I would also kindly request all the educators to please join our Telegram community if you have not joined us till now, because it makes us easy to communicate the things to you. And also you can share your doubts and queries with us in the Telegram. Also, do not forget to share your creativities, the assignments which you are submitting on the dashboard. So please submit your videos in the Telegram too, so that it can make us and the other educators motivated.
So I can see on chat, Mr. Z sir is there, Christina ma'am is there, Polo ma'am is there. Hi, all. A very good afternoon to all. So I request if all the educators, if you're not joined our Telegram group, please scan this QR code, or else you can directly join by clicking this link. Now, I would like to discuss the organizer of this program. International Bootcamp program is hosted by STEMpedia, and we have ARTPARK as our co-host, that is AI and Robotics Technology Park by IISc Bangalore. We have been supported by Niti Aayog, that is Atal Innovation Mission, which is a part of central government education system in India. It's a pleasure to have All India Educators Forum and American Indian Foundation to be as our community partner. We have been supported by many international partners also, like Palestine's Purpose Smart Education Palestine, National Institute of Education Singapore, Apex Coding Academy Egypt, ITA Tunisia, and EduStream UAE. Now, I would like to discuss the basic objective of this bootcamp program. The objective of this bootcamp program is to empower the educators by deepening their knowledge and understanding on coding, artificial intelligence, and robotics, and thus giving all the necessary skills that they require on this 21st century. By this bootcamp program, we are giving a hands-on experience on the latest technologies like robotics, artificial intelligence, machine learning in a fun and very interactive manner. Learning more about this new day technology, that is nothing but artificial intelligence, coding, machine learning, we are making our educators to be more confident to talk and discuss about this technology in front of a big society. Last but not the least, we are making our teachers to become an ambassador of their own institution of this AI and robotics. Now, I would like to discuss why we need to participate in this bootcamp program. We are giving a platform to you to learn with our international educators. You can learn with the international educators as well as you can join the international educators community. You can discuss your doubts, you can solve your queries with our international educators also. By this program, you can acquire the skills, as I mentioned before, the skills that that you required on this 21st century. Skills in the sense problem solving methodology, teamwork, collaboration, how to contemplate, all those things comes in this 21st century skills. Now, one important thing I would like to share is that by participating in this international bootcamp program, you will be able to get teaching resources as well as your students will be getting our learning resources too. By the completion of this international bootcamp program, you can earn a badge and a certificate aggregated by ARTPARK, STEMpedia, and STEM.org. Now, it's high time to discuss the schedule of this bootcamp program. International Bootcamp Program Level 2, that is Robotics and Artificial Intelligence. In this Level 2, we have 6 sessions. Session 1 was about Introduction to Robotics. We learned some basics of robotics. We made our robot to move. In session 2, we discussed about self-driving robots. In session 3, that is yesterday, we learned how to calibrate our robot, and we made our own robot to follow a particular path. In today, that is session 4, Ayush, in session 4, we'll be learning about AI delivery robot. Okay, we will be making our Quarky robot as a delivery robot. We'll learn different applications, we'll understand different logics, and we'll make our own robot as a delivery robot. In session 5, we'll learn about gesture control robots. We'll learn how processes are modeled and identified using machine learning, and will perform an activity of robot which can be controlled by different gestures. And in 6th session, we'll be having our closing ceremony. Now, I would like to take you through the LMS of this bootcamp, how we can access the LMS of this bootcamp program. For that, I would like to share my screen and show it to you directly. Hold on, right now I'm sharing my screen. Hold on for a few seconds. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
This is, we have to go to ai.thestempedia.com. Here, this is, you have to click on My Courses. In My Courses, I will show it once again. In My Courses, you will be having 2 courses, that is Bootcamp Level 1 and Level 2. Now, as we all know, we are in Level 2. You have to click on Robotics and AI Bootcamp for Level 2. In Level 2, you will be seeing different courses. Like session 1, we already did Introduction to Robotics. In session 2, we learned about self-driving robot. Yesterday we learned about line following robot, and today we'll be dealing with AI as delivery robot. Here you can directly watch our session by clicking on this YouTube link here. Don't forget to mark your attendance for day 4. It is already here in your LMS. Like for all the educators, global educators, you have to click on the first form, And for adult educators, you have to click on this second form. And while going through this LMS, while doing your activity, after completing your activity one, you will get an assignment option. You will get a place where you can submit your video link. You just want to type the assignment name and you just want to upload the link of the YouTube video. I think it's clear now. So if you still face any difficulty in doing uploading your videos or sharing your link, you can directly ask in our Telegram group. For that, don't forget to join our Telegram group. Yeah. Now, Ayush, you can take it forward now.
Yeah, sure. So thanks, Tina, for giving us a complete overview of the things and the objective and how the things has to be taken into the learning management system, how educators can do the submission of the assignments in the dashboard. Now I think it's right time to start our today's sessions as it is on the Quarky as an AI delivery bot. So of course, you might be thinking how exactly Quarky can be used to make an AI delivery bot. So before that, let's understand that what exactly we mean by AI delivery bots. So I'll just share my screen. And first of all, let's understand how exactly we are calling the AI, what AI delivery bots are. So you might have already heard about it. You might have already seen those things in some places, in some videos. Basically, delivery bots are services robots that transport the items from one place to another. Although this is not very easy to see, of course, but there are robots, there are now cafes, and there are many places in the world where these robots have started working, where they can just deliver the products or they can just deliver the things from one place of their origin to the last point of the origin, or I should say the last point, end point for the customer. Basically, they can be used to deliver the foods in cafes, they can be used to deliver the groceries in Walmarts, and also serve coffees in the offices as well as in the homes. Now, let's see some of them. So, before we move ahead and see some of them, let's first discuss about why exactly do we need delivery bots. So if we're talking about delivery bots, we require the delivery bots, of course, to carry some small work, of course, where humans can take rest, of course, for some time, and of course, it can be used to uh, it can be used for the home purpose or the office purpose where humans are not required their skills. Like if I said that we have to move a coffee to a person, of course at that time it's not a skill to be getting things delivered. Now it is, as I mentioned, it is getting used for a very small distances, but we have seen that these robots are also getting utilized in manufacturing industries, because sometimes there are many parts or the different machineries which are really very heavy to be I should say heavy for the humans, but still machines can carry them and of course deliver them from one place to another. Now, previously, of course, there were bots, but those were not exactly the bots were, but the only machines to carry those machineries. But of course, at the back end or like in front as well, the humans were somewhere driving those cars or vehicles. But after the delivery bots, it become little more easier to utilize the human skills in some good things and leave the tedious work and the hard work for the machines. Now, what are the different applications? So one of the application is like delivering the food and the groceries, all other items from homes to shop. So of course, as I mentioned, in many parts of the world the delivery bots have started, and where they are delivering the parcels, they are delivering the groceries from the shops to the home. Also, if you see in offices, generally if the offices are very big, what happens is it becomes difficult if you want to have a document. If I have given a print statement and I have to walk a mile to get that print, then of course it is going to get become difficult. So in those places, of course, these bots can help us to carry the documents inside the office or within a premises, so that it becomes easy for humans to use their productivity, increase their productivity where the real human skills are required, rather than doing the tedious works. Now, one of a very good application came into place when we of course we got hit with a coronavirus, where uh, there was a part coming up that we do not need to touch the things and all. So there, of course, these bots have played a big role by delivering the medical things, by delivering the medicines and other stuff to the different homes, okay, and making it contact free. Because of course, for a machine, if it has been feeded that after every delivery, they have to be sanitized. They can be sanitized by themselves only. But when we are talking about humans, it becomes little difficult for us as a human to maintain the things. But of course, this delivery bot has really helped in many parts of the world to get the things delivered on time, and of course saving the human energy. Now, if we are talking about the part of Quarky AI delivery bot, so today's session is going to be very interesting, because we are not only going to just make the activities, but we are also going to observe that how the logics are getting changed just by adding a certain new things to our older activities. So now, of course, you can see this is somewhere is looking like an output, where we would love to see that we are placing different numbers over the mat, over the green arena, and my Quarky is able to stop themselves at a particular point where I want them to stop. That means I would be making a script where I would be somewhere mentioning that I want my Quarky to be stopped at point number 1 or point number 2 or point number 3. Here I would like to tell you that this is like, you can see this is a setup. Of course, I would request like this is how exactly we want you to do in hands-on. Now moving ahead to the activity part, that how exactly we can detect the numbers. So first, we are going to just make our PictoBlox ready to detect the numbers. Okay, so now I'll just show you that what exactly we want as output. So this you can see, just a sec. Okay, I'll just reshare my screen actually. Okay, so particularly we would be seeing we can of course put our mobile phones or smartphones on the Quarky, and then we are going to put some recognition cards named as 1, 2, and 3, and let's see if my Quarky and PictoBlox are able to basically detect these cards or not. So the first part of today's activity would be we would be working with PictoBlox to detect the number. So I'll just stop my share and reshare my screen of the PictoBlox. Okay, I hope my PictoBlox screen is completely visible. Okay, and let me just try to switch on my second camera so that even I can show you the Quarky. And now I hope my Quarky is also very much visible. Okay, so although as I mentioned right now, we would be first focusing on concept of detecting the numbers. Then we would be bringing some of, I should say, the things and where we can move our Quarky to this online follower and of course ask them to stop themselves on the different checkpoints. Okay, so starting with the first, a very important part. If you have already used the smartphone, okay, for the PictoBlox, that is really great. Still, if you have not used it, we would we would recommend you to use the smartphone for these activities. Okay, so now the first thing is we have to detect the number, right? So as we did some of the related stuff in the last activity, okay, so we are going to just use those things. And the first important point is we would require to select a board. Here we have to select Quarky. Yeah. So we are going to select Quarky so that of course I can get the Quarky badges. I can get the Quarky palettes on my PictoBlox. The next part is, of course, we would require an extension. So we can add the extension from add extension option on the left hand side. And the extension which we would be using is recognition card. As soon as I add an extension of recognition cards, I would be getting all the blocks related to it. So we are just waiting that models get loaded. So now the model has been loaded successfully. So I think we did this part on the self-driving car day as well, where we detected some of, I should say, some of the cards, right? So, but today, as we are making a project on AI delivery bot, first let's see how exactly we can make an activity where we can detect the different numbers. Now, again, the different numbers, you might have already received it in your box. So these are the recognition cards which we can use and to mark the numbers. So I'm going to start the part. First, a very important part I require is to turn on the camera, because without turning on the camera, I cannot have the visuals of these uh, recognition cards and get them detected. Now I'll just go to event. Of course, I'll require when green flag is clicked. And the next part is, as you remember that we require a bounding box, and we also have to set the threshold. Now, setting up the threshold means that we want till the time the machine is not so confident enough that this is the correct card. I don't want my machine to give me the answer. Now, I'll go to control, okay, and I'm going to bring a forever block. Now I'm bringing a forever block so that of course I can detect all the things on the live mode. That means if even on the live I'm changing the cards, my machine should be able to, I should say, detect the cards. Now what the next is, of course, as we know, of course, we are working with AI, but still we require to give the instruction to the machine to even start the AI part. That is why we are going to use the block which says analyze the image from the camera. And this is basically going to give me give my machine an idea that now it's the right time to start analyzing all the cards right now present over the window, or I should say over the stage. Now, what exactly the machine has detected, I also need that feedback. So there is a block which can help me to detect the class of the object. Okay, and here on the class of the object, I can get which card is currently present over the screen, where I'll click on looks and I'll use save log to get that class set by my sprite. So this is my sprite. I can just drag him to the corner. Now, till here, of course, we have done it in previous sites also, like in previous classes, where we detected the card and we asked our, I should say, PictoBlox, or I asked our Toby to say the name. Now, ahead of taking this, that if we want to make an AI delivery bot, that means my machine should be able to detect the home numbers, or you can say house numbers. Okay, and if the house numbers have to be detected, if the house number have to be detected and it has to be very well recognized by the machine, so in that scenario we have to also ask the question to the machine. We have to make the conditions basically. Now to make the conditions, what would I require is, of course, if block from the controls, and I'll put it inside the forever. And here, what I require is to check that on which home I want my Quarky to deliver the package. So let's assume I have three cards, as I mentioned. I can just tag them one on the first point. Okay, so I can just tag them one on the first point, second on the other, and the third on the third one. So you can consider it, this is the first checkpoint. Okay, this is the second checkpoint, and the third is of course this one. So we have to also situate the cards in such a way that my machine is able to see that when it is, I should say, my Quarky should be able to see the card when it takes a turn out of here. That means I would be putting somewhere my card like this, or even you can put it outside. For me, there is no space right now, but of course you can put it outside or somewhere here. Okay, so that it can check, yeah, this is the number one. Similarly, for number two, I have to keep this card in such a way that it watches the number two while after crossing the, I should say, after crossing the number one. So I hope you would be all able to see this. And coming to the number three, of course, for that too, I would require to keep the card in such a way that it takes the next turn and then it is taking, it is watching that number. I hope you would be all able to see these numbers I have kept. So right now, this is number three, this is number two, and of course, this is number one. Okay, so I think number three is not visible. Okay, let me just show it to you. Okay, so due to fan, okay, just give me a sec. Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, I just got some technical issues. So, but right now, I hope the things would be pretty visible now that I'll just show it to you that I have kept like this, where this is number one, this is number two, and you can see the number three. So basically, my idea of keeping these signs in such a way is that it is able to basically get seen by the Quarky. So of course, you can just think that my Quarky would be traveling around the line following, and here I have to put these two parts so that, okay, so that of course I can, just let me bring that. Yeah, so basically I have to even put these two parts so that of course I can mount my phone over it. And now if we'll see, the complete setup looks like that I would be mounting my phone over this, and as soon as the cork is going to take a turn, okay, from here, the first thing what it is going to see is, if you'll see it from here, the first thing it is going to see it is the number one. So when it watches the number one, I want basically to get itself stopped if I have coded it for number one. So this has to be taken care by you, that how exactly the how better you can keep your smartphones so that the things are pretty clear for the machine. So if in case it watches here the number one, it is going to stop at number one. If in case I want it to be stopped at number two, in that case, this cork is going to move forward. And when it crosses the number one, okay, it crosses the number one, it is going to, okay, you want me to pin the screen. Okay, I think, okay, I'll now, you would be more clearly visible. Okay, so now it will be more clearly visible since I have stopped my sharing. So this is how exactly I want that my Quarky should be using a smartphone PictoBlox. Okay. Once we have coded it to detect number one, when it would be following here, and I want it to see this number one, and it should stop at checkpoint number one. If it is, if I want it to get stop at number one, right? But if in case I don't want it to stop at number one, so it is going to move ahead and cross the number one. And when it would be reaching to the checkpoint number two, you can see it is going to basically see the number two, right? And then it is going to stop number two. If in case I don't even want it to stop at number two, in that scenario, it is going to go forward. And then when it would be taking this turn, okay, and when it takes this turn, you can see here is the number three. Okay, so this is the number three. And this can be completely visible by my phone camera. Once it sees the number three, it is going to stop. So I hope you have all got an idea that how exactly and what output we want. Okay, so now let's make this. Okay, so what I want is I'll just remove my phone from here right now, and I'll keep my Quarky here, and let's see how exactly and what exactly we want from our Quarky and how exactly we can get it. So for as of now, I'm removing these. I'm removing these parts out of it. Okay, and let me just bring down the camera. Yeah, so right now I'm not showing the things. Okay, that is why I have shared my screen. So now here, the first thing, as I mentioned, it should be able to detect the numbers. So to detect the numbers, we have of course used these blocks, and now what we want here is we'll select the recognition cards. Okay, and from here we are going to see a block which can let me know the number detected, whether the number has been detected or not. That means this is a Boolean block which is going to give me an idea. So I'll select number one and I'm just going to put it here. Now I'll go to display, bring this block display matrix as 2 times. So what I want, if it has detected anything, I want it to be red. But only I want green color if it has detected the green. If it has detected the number 1. So now I think the Quarky would be visible to you. Okay, and let's see whether it works or not. So first thing, as you know, we need to turn on the Quarky to connect it to the PictoBlox. Now I'll click on connect. I'll go to Bluetooth port. I'll just click on connect. And it seems my Quarky is connected. Now I'll just need to press the green flag. So right now you can see it is saying red because it has not detected anything. I'll require to like turn the camera on from my side. Okay, let me just stop it and like restart this program. So right now you can see it is saying red light. So let's see if in case I bring this 3 number, what it is saying. So you can see it has detected the 3, right? But the light is still on the Quarky is red. If I bring this 2 number, so is my machine able to detect this 2 number or not? It is able to detect the 2, but still the light is red. Okay, still the light is red. But if in case I'm going to bring this 1, and in case it has detected the 1 and the light turn out to be green, as soon as I remove it, again it is going to turn back to red, as else any number is detected or nothing is detected, so it is going to be red. Okay, so this is how you can understand it is detecting the different numbers but only responding to the 1 number. So I hope this is pretty clear to all and everyone that how exactly we did it. Okay, so I'll just stop my share and I'll just, okay, so now I'll just, if you have any questions, please put it forward so that of course I can help you with the answers, because this is one of the activity which is very necessary to be understood, that it's not that I'm not getting my numbers detected. It's like I'm getting my numbers detected, but I'm asking my machine to only respond if a particular number is detected what I want. Okay, so if you have any question, please put it forward. So if you have doubts related to how to mount, let me just show you with graphics, because I know sometimes it becomes little difficult showcasing the things on the camera. Okay, so I'll just show it to you with the graphics. So see, this is a smartphone holder, okay? And basically you are going to see that how exactly you can do it is you have to keep the long part in front, okay? And then you have to push it on the Quarky's front part. And now you are going to see the next is, of course, you have to push the backside of the part, okay? Can't find display. For finding display shortcut, please select the Quarky board. Then only you would be able to see the display part. Now, this is the second important thing. And then the third, that you have to even lock that smartphone holder so that it doesn't move and your phone is very, very easily can be situated over the smartphone holder. Okay. Now, this is how exactly your Quarky should look with the phone when it has kept with when you are using your smartphone. Now, as we just made this, we did it by using the recognition card extension, right? So now we are going to move ahead with making the movements to my Quarky. Okay, and that is going to be very amazing actually. Okay, so now I would start with, so right now what we did was checking that we were able to detect the numbers. Okay, now I'll just share back my screen. And now we are going to work with the checkpoints. So let me first show you what exactly we want and then move ahead. So what we want is, if we are making a script for number one, so we want it to first detect the number one and stop itself on the checkpoint number one. Okay. Now, if we are coding it for number two, what I wanted, it should pass the first. Okay. You can see it is going to stop a little bit, but sooner or later it is going to go ahead. And once it is went ahead, it should stop when it has detected the number two. So how exactly we are coding? So first you have to decide on which we want it to be stopped, whether we want one, two, or three. Okay, because one parcel can be delivered at only one place. We cannot distribute that parcel to two homes. So this is how we are going to see the number two part. Now, similarly, if we are talking about number three, in that case, we want it to pass the checkpoint number one, even checkpoint number two, and when it reaches to around number three, it should stop itself. So you can see it here that when it came to checkpoint number three, it stopped, right? So this is how exactly we want it to be executed. Okay. So now let's try that how exactly we can achieve the final output. So for that, of course, we are going to work with the going to checkpoint number one. Now to going to checkpoint number one, first let's understand the logic behind it. So that, okay, first we have to understand the logic behind it so that we can then program the things, because once we have understood the logic, it becomes really very easy to code the things. So what we are going to do is we are going to start the activity from the last concept, that is line follower. That first we want my Quarky to do a line following, keep doing the line following, and parallelly it should also detect the numbers. So what am I going to do is I start with pressing a green flag, setting the sensor threshold and robot speed. So this is very important, that if you have done the yesterday's activity, you might have got the desired output. So you have to first make your robot ready with the line follower. Once it is ready with the line follower, in that case, you have to do is you have to, of course, check are both the sensors active. If active, do the line, go to stop the robot. That means basically we are talking about this part, checkpoint part. Now, if both the sensors are not active, we want our machine to keep doing the line following. It should not stop. Okay. Now, here you have to see that we are going to analyze an image and we are going to check that is number one detected. If the number one is detected, only then my Quarky is going to stop itself on checkpoint number one. Otherwise, it is going to move forward. It will go forward. Okay. Now, to start this activity, of course, we will use the previous script as a starting point of the current script so that we don't get ourselves in trouble. So I'll just stop my share and let's start making the script on PictoBlox. So this is where we left our last script. I'll just reshare my screen. So this is where we exactly, I should say, left our last script, right? So now what are the basic changes we would require? So the first, and of course, we would require to put the line following part. Okay, and how we can do that, you already know that we would require some blocks which can help me to do so. So I'll go to robot. Okay, so I'm just breaking this script because I need certain things to be getting added. Okay, and of course we are going to add all of these things inside here itself, so that it becomes little easy for us to take forward the activity. So the first part, as you know, when we are making a line following robot, we require the threshold. For the threshold, of course, I will need to go to sensor, and I'll bring these two blocks to set the threshold. One at left and one at right, of course. So I'll just put this, okay. Now what I have to do here is, I'll just, what I'm going to do it, I'm just breaking the script so that it becomes easier for you all to understand, and then we are going to collage it. So these are the two blocks, but again, the most important point is, of course, I need to take down the thresholds. So I'll just bring, make a variable that is sensor value. I'll say, okay, set my sensor value to the set my sensor value to the basically value of the sensor. So I'll go to sensors, I'll bring that block, and I'll put all of this on the forever. Okay, now if I'm going to click it here, okay, so you would be able to observe the values. Okay, now I have to take down these values, as you remember. So I'll keep my Quarky here. I'll take the value of the left IR sensor on Y, that is 2140. Okay, I'll just note it down somewhere that it's 2140. And I'll add the value of IR sensor left hand side kept on black. So it is giving me 3150. That equates to 5290 divided by 2, and that comes to 645. So I'll just change this value to 2645. Okay. Now I'll stop this working and I'll just take down the R. So now I'll again use the R, and I'll take down the value that is 24, you can say 35. So we'll take 2435. And I'm going to add it to keeping it on the black. So now, okay, I just pushed it a lot, so I'll just keep it here. So now if you'll see, it's giving me 3230 something. So I'll just take it 3230. I'll add both of them, divide by 2. So it's coming to be 2832.5. So let's make it 2833. Okay. So of course, now I've calibrated the sensor. The next important point when we were doing a line following part was, of course, the parameters. Okay. So what we can do is we can go to robot, bring down the same block. Okay. And we have to set the parameter. For as of now, what we are going to take it as 50, 40, and I'll take it as 25. Okay. So this is somewhere can help me. Okay. So I'll start with this, or even I can change it to 40 actually, and I'll change this to 50. Okay, 40, 50, 25. Now, this part is of course completed. Okay, so will I be able to see the movement of Quarky? No. The reason is I have not used anything till now where, of course, I can see the working. So what I have to do is I'll just combine the old part and the old parts to the following script. Okay, although I don't require this, I can just keep it aside. So, and let me zoom it out. So what I did, I added this part in center. Okay. And now what I have to do? I would be putting a block of do the line following just around everything inside the forever. And what do I need is, of course, I want these steps to be taken, but I also want it should stop itself, right? When it reaches, it should stop itself. So what I'm going to do here is I will use a block says stop all, stop robot just below when it reaches to checkpoint. Now I'll need to add some blocks to make it stop specifically on the one. So right now what I have given is a generic, okay? But of course I don't want it to be generic. I want to be its number specific. So what I would do is I would bring a block says control stop all, okay? Oh, sorry, it would be, yeah, of course in control, so stop all. So when I want everything to be stopped, I want this to be working when the number one is detected. Else, if this number is not detected, I want it to move forward and go ahead. Okay, so let me just bring that block from the robot that I, at the end, of course, I want it to move forward. Oh, not this one. Oh, sorry. By mistake, I just click that. Okay, so by mistake, I click that block. So I'll just go forward with a speed of 40%. We can take down. So I'll just bring it and put it here. So now in this 100%, of course, I'll make it 40 because I have used F parameter as 40 over there. So now let's see whether it is going to work or not. Let me just start it from here. Do not to take it for so long. So you can see it's following the line. And if in case it is going to stop itself, okay, to the one, do you think it should stop? It won't. The reason behind it didn't stop because I haven't shown the one number, right? Also, what I want is I want first it to, let me just stop this. Okay, let me just reconnect and start it fresh. So I'll require to connect this. I'll just disconnect first. Switch off the Quarky once. Since already there was a red light on it, so we cannot see the changes. But of course, now we would be able to see the changes. I'll just refresh it to that it can be found here. I'll just click on connect. It connected. I'll need to change this to turn on so that my camera also gets turned on. I'll just go to audio video setting, change the camera setting for me. Although these steps are not required for you since you would be only using one camera of the phone. So now my camera would be getting switched on. Let me just click it here with the green flag. And let me just try to show the number one. So it is when it is reaching the checkpoint, it is checking, it is number one. It seems it is number one and it's getting itself stopped and bringing the green light. So now to observe what exactly the change became, let me just press the green flag again so that, okay, let me just again stop this. Okay, I just by mistakenly stopped the script in between. So let me just reconnect actually. So I'll just show you the difference. If I'm not showing any number, what happens? So that you can be able to understand what is the difference between showcasing the one number and not. Okay. So right now you can see this is completely no light is over here. Okay. And now let me just press the green flag. So as soon as I press the green flag, it will start line following, right? Which we have did it yesterday. Now what I have done a condition is for the checkpoint. So it will reach till checkpoint. It is going to check whether there is a number detected or not. And if it is nothing, so it is bringing a red light and moving ahead. to follow the line. Okay, till the time it is not going to come up with the, I should say, the green light and stopping itself, till the time it is not able to see the, I should say, it is not able to see the light. So what I can do here is, now I can show the one number. You just understood, you have just seen that how it reacted when it was in the checkpoint one but could not find. So now I'll just show it this number. It has detected one, it took a green light and stopped itself. So now I think this is getting pretty clear. What is the difference? If I'm not showing a number one, it is coming up with red light and moving ahead. If I'm showing a one number, then only in that case, it is going to stop everything, putting up a green light. That means I have got the house and I'm going to deliver the parcel over the checkpoint number one. I hope this is very clear. Still, if you have any doubts, please feel free to put it forward. So if you want me to just show it to you without sharing a screen, even I can do that. Okay, so that it gives you a pretty good idea. So before that, let me just clear down the screen of Quarky and stop it. Okay, so now I think you would be able to clearly see what exactly we did. So we started with making a line follower. We wanted it to stop itself on the checkpoint number one. So that is the reason I'm showing right now a one number on my screen, which of course right now my screen is not shared, but right now you can see it came up with a green light. But now if in case I'm not going to show the one number. Okay, so right now I've thought of, I'm not showing a red number, although it started with a green light because that was the last instruction I didn't cleared. But let's see what happens if I'm right now, I'm not showing any number. I don't want it to stop on the checkpoint number one. You see, it turned to be red, okay, and moved ahead, following the line that I could not find the one. And now you can see how exactly it is working. So it is going to take the turns, do the things till the time I'm not going to show the one number. So now again, I'll just show the one number on my screen. And right now you can see it is going to stop and come off the green light. I hope you have got a fair idea that how exactly I coded it for making it getting the products delivered at checkpoint one. But now you have to think that how can I make it for two? Of course, you can make it for two just by changing the number one, right? I think that you all agree. But you can directly change the number, okay, and you can directly get an output of checkpoint number one or two, right? But if I say there would be little logics required to work on the checkpoint number two. So I'll tell you what exactly the logic would be working behind and why exactly we want that logic to work. Okay, so yeah, for basically when we are working with checkpoint two, you have to check that what exactly the logic. Actually, I just forgot that is a DIY. That is like I want you guys to figure it out how exactly it should work. But why not right now test it once with the three? Okay, that how exactly it works if I code this thing for three. So let me just put it on screen number two. Okay, now if I want the things to happen with checkpoint number three, okay, right now I stopped each and everything on checkpoint one. So the only difference is, of course, I can bring directly this number from the drop down that I want it to be stopped at checkpoint three. No other things are required to be checked. Okay, now let's see does it work or not. And to make it little more easier and like faster, I can just start my Quarky from here. And let me first clear down the screen and press the green flag. How it stopped without a number just because of black cross. So black cross, I'll tell you, it's not getting stopped there till the time I'm not showcasing the number on the screen. I'll tell you, I'm using a stop robot inside this. You have to understand that I'm using it inside. Let me just bring it out so that, so now you will be able to understand that what am I doing. I am saying do the line following, okay, and stop itself on checkpoint number 1. Okay, so this is a part you have to understand what I have done till here. I stopped my Quarky at checkpoint number 1. Okay, but you have to understand, if I would have only used this part of block, that is this one. Okay, let me try to mark this. Actually, it's pretty good question. So I'll tell you, not this one. Let me just clear it down. Yeah, this would work. So if I would have used only this particular part, okay, not this one, so then automatically it would have stopped in checkpoint 1 without seeing anything. Okay, but what I have done it here, you have to understand. I have given that stop yourself at checkpoint 1. Okay, it stopped itself. Then what I said after that analyze. Okay, after that, after stopping yourself, analyze that what exactly is image. If you are able to analyze, tell me the name, what is the object. Now you have to understand this. Now if the number, we were working on number 1, so I'll select it number 1. If the number 1 is detected, in that case it is going to bring up the green light and stop all the script. That means everything is going to stop at that moment. But if number 1 is not detected, here you can see I have added go forward with 40% speed. That means I am negating this. I'm using this block in negating the stop block. You can understand. First, I gave instruction to stop, but at last I mentioned, okay, you did a stop, but now I want you to go forward. So this is how I negated my previous command. Okay. So now I would add back here all the script. I hope you have got an idea, and I did it on, of course, the forever. So still, if the doubt is not clear, please tell me. I would love to answer it again and would love to explain it again. Okay. You can just mention if this part is clear or not. If not, please let me know. Okay. Now let's test the things with number 3. So it's like very same. We have to work with number 3. I would be putting it instead of number 1, the number 3. And let's start my Quarky, connecting it from this place. So I hope my Quarky is connected. Okay, yeah, it's connected. Let me just press the green flag. So first I'm just showing you with the script so that you can understand what exactly is happening. So right now I want it to stop at number 3. Okay, when the number 3 is going to be detected. Now you have to understand number 3 checkpoint, why I'm calling this as a number 3, because I'm going to put this as a home place. Okay, so this is now number 3. So now if I'm going to press a green flag here, so let's assume it is going to cross. You can see it got stopped. It analyzed the thing, but it came up with, okay, it just got missed. Okay. So it is trying to follow the line. Okay. And now it has crossed. So since it will come to this plate, it is going to see the number 3. And here, once it has detected the number 3, it is going to come. Now you have to understand, this is completely getting worked with this setup that I have kept number 1 over here. I have kept number 2 over here. Okay. And I have started my Quarky from initial position here. And of course, I have used 2 holders. Okay. To hold to hold my camera. Now this script is going to work in this way. Let me just stop my share so that you would be able to understand it. Okay, let me just put it little down so that you can see it here. Okay, so this is how exactly it is going to work. That once I will play this, it is going to take forward. Once my Quarky reaches here, it is going to stop itself for number 1. If I have coded it for number 3, it will move ahead and it will go till this part, till the time it is not able to see the number 3 that is situated here. Okay, you can see this is number 3 basically. So when the Quarky would be somewhere in this turn, then only let me just put it back. Yeah, when my Quarky would be in some this angle, then only it would be able to see this number 3 and would be getting itself stopped. Okay. Okay, so I hope these things are pretty clear, and I want all of you to please like fill the feedback form if you have not filled, and we would love to see your feedback, and so that of course we can keep improving our sessions, we can keep working on the part which you want us to bring for all of you. So I'll just share my screen. So I'll just request Tina actually to please share the feedback form link. So right now we did it, and before we move ahead, I would like to just show you the output, what we thought of, and did we get it or not. Means you would be able to see it on the video as well. So this was what exactly we wanted to happen, that it should go till 1, and once it has reached 1, it should get stopped itself. Okay, so I hope this all things are pretty clear for everyone and you have enjoyed the session. And if you have like any questions, please put it forward. We would love to answer them all. So I'll just give me a second. Again, as I mentioned, after this session, we are going to have a doubt session. You can join our doubt session. You can ask all your doubts there. So we are going to have a doubt session after the session at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to the 11 p.m. So can we use, instead the number detection, we can use GPS also for the delivery board? Yes, of course, but right now GPS is not going to work with PictoBlox. We are trying to come up with that functionality as well. Also, in like if you haven't seen the Quarky Ultimate Kit, so we have an upgraded kit of Quarky Ultimate where we work with robot localization. So I would love you all to just explore this concept of robot localization. What happens in robot localization is basically you are able to make your robot move on a particular location just by QR code scanning. Like you put the locations on the QR code, you can just see I have that robot, that is QR code robot localization, which help your Quarky to move all over the board just by putting up the location by latitude and the longitudes in the uh, PictoBlox. But still we are trying to come up with all new features, what exactly you want. As we mentioned, that please fill the feedback form, keep knowing us about the things so that of course we can keep you updated. So I hope you all have enjoyed our today's session. You have, of course, learned the new things. We would be love to seeing you all submitting the activities. Please take your time. We know you all are, of course, working as an educators in different schools as well as different institutions. But please take out a time so that you can complete them all and, of course, earn your certificate and badges. So I hope you have all enjoyed today. That was all for the day. And thanks for joining us. And please fill the feedback form. It's really, really very important. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Over to you, Tina.
That was a wonderful session, Ayush. You shared a very good knowledge on AI as a delivery robot. Hope all our educators enjoyed today's session. Thank you all for joining. See you tomorrow with new topic. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.